Hello everyone. This simple tutorial, we are going to use the knowledge that you got this simple tutorial of centering a text or content a web page. So this is what we created in the previous tutorial that I uploaded on this channel. If you never watched it, I will leave the link in the description below or in the cards right now as it's popping up. So this is what we created, and we are going to use the same knowledge create a simple landing page for our dear Muslim brothers, since today it's their day of celebrating EID AL-ADHA. Very simple. So the image that I'm going to be using for this tutorial, I went to a site called pixels.com and I searched for EID AL-ADHA, and this is what they brought back, and this is the image that I'm going to be using for this tutorial. If you're interested and you want to follow along, I'm going to leave the same image that I'm going to be using for this tutorial here in the description, or you can also head over to pixels.com and search for your own image. Very simple. Then let me close this. I'm going to just create a boilerplate or simple markup for our HTML. Just say ED landing page. ED landing page, excuse me. Then in the body sections, we are going to create a div with the class of container. Then inside it, we are going to place an h1, and it's going to be having happy EID AL-ADHA. Sorry, hope I've spelled it correctly. Happy EID AL-ADHA. Sorry for that, guys. Then I'm going to open this in a browser with a live server. So this is what we are having, our simple text, happy EID AL-ADHA. Then let us head over now to our style.css. We are going to be writing the style. So as you can see, I have index.html and style.css. I'm going to link our style.css in the head section. So use the link tag, and the relationship with this page, it is a style sheet, and the hyperreference or the href is where we specify where the styling file is. So they're in the same directory. We just write style.css. There is no complicated path. So this is the simple markup that we need. Then let us head over to our style.css. Since we linked it, the first thing we are going to do is set our background image. So we shall target the body, say background image. So this is the CSS property, and this one takes in the URL function. Inside this is where you specify also the path to the image. Remember, they're in the same directory. I'm just going to write the name of the image. So ed.epg, and this is what you are going to be having. So it needs some more stylings for it to look better. The first thing we are going to do is set its background size, and it's going to be cover. Save that. This is what we are going to be having. Now let us make it centered. This. So background position. I'll say center. Somehow centered the middle. That's for the body styling. Then for our, remember our text is here. So for our text to be centered right in the middle, it's very simple. We are going to target the container class for container. Remember, it's the class that we wrote, so it's the parent div for our text. So container, and we are going to say display grid. So this is what we learned in the previous tutorial. If at all you watched it, I'll say place items, center. They are going to place our item here in the center, but as you can see, it's at the top. We want it in the middle. To do that, I'm just going to set some simple height of 100%. It will be centered here, but right now it is black in color, you can't see it. What I'm going to do is target the H1. We are going to add some extra stylings here in this container, but let us first make that word more visible, the page. So specify the container class, because we don't want every H1 to be having this same styling. So we specify the parent div, then we specify H1, so they will only target the H1 or all H1s that will be inside the div with the class of container. So if you leave it like this, they are going to be, if at all you have extra H1s on your page, they will all be targeted. So for us to use this descendant selector, we are telling the browser that only apply the stylings H1s that are going to be inside this div, or any element that has the class of container, the H1. So the color shall say white. I'm using hexadecimal values. Excuse me. This is what we are having. Then let us increase on its font size. Let's say font size, and it's going to be 10 rem. This is what we are having. Then I'm going to go back in the markup. Right after the word happy, we add the break tag. It will be brought here. Then let us go back to our styling. We say text align center. As you can see, right now it's on the left hand side. So when we save this center, this is how it will be centered. And for us to have the like an overlay effect, we are going to go back now to our container, because right now you can see somehow brighter. We need to add some dark contrast. So we are going to go back to our container here. I'm going to say, let's give it some width 100. Right now you're not going to be seeing it until I add the background color. So the width will be 100%. Then let us set the background color. I'm going to use the RGBA function, and this one takes in 4 parameters. So the first color is always red. As you can see, it's red, green, blue, and alpha. So green will also be 0, blue will be 0, and then the alpha we are going to use 0.7. It's like the opacity. Right now this is what you're seeing. So it's our container. They are adding that simple overlay, but as you can see, they are leaving some white space, the edges at the top. So to remove all those, just need to set some position to fixed, and the right hand side they will overlap that. And to be more secure, we say top 0, so they remove the top. Then we also say left 0, so left 0, we also remove the left. And let us also be more sure, and we add in right, because right was removed by us setting the position to fixed, but we need to be sure that some screens it will still be 0. Then also bottom 0. We are having this simple overlay effect. If you're wondering why it's transparent, it's because of this alpha value that we set here. If we put 1, it will be completely black. So the opacity will be set at 1 by default. So as reducing the 0.9, go on being transparent 0.8, like that. So the lower you go, the more alpha or blood effect you get. So let us set it to 7. Very simple. So this is a simple landing page come up with. Let me set a simple font family for my H1 here. Font family. Won't use this simple. I just have it installed on my PC. You may not be having it, but in case you want to get the same like font family, I'm going to leave you with a link in the description below. It's called Digital. So it's my brothers, the Muslims, on the countdown of celebrating this. I'm going to use this block font family, so it's Digital 7. So this is how it is. Simple landing page having happy EID AL-ADHA. But as you can see, if you go on small screens, it looks bad. So let us set some simple media queries for our landing page. Now, like if you're a beginner, at times these media queries disturb you a lot because you don't know the exact width or breakpoint that you have to target for you to have everything correctly formatted on the page. And the simple trick to know the exact width that you want to target is pressing Ctrl+Shift+I on your keyboard or right click on the page, come to inspect. As you can see on inspect, they show you also the shortcut. So on the if you want to be more efficient and speedy, just press Ctrl+Shift+I on your keyboard and they will open up this console tab. As you can see, excuse me, when I'm sizing this, look at the top right hand corner. You can see those values that are moving when I'm resizing this browser, the top right hand corner. Then when we reduce on the width like this, you also see the same values using. So we are going to create some media queries basing on the value on the breakpoint that we are going to see our layout breaking. So I'm going to reduce. So you always have to be trying out these different values. So when we reach some point and our text breaks, that's where we are going to add some media queries. So let's say at around 700, let's say 765. So we come in our style sheet and say at media screen, and then we say max width, then it was 765 pixels. So that's where our layout broke or came into this format. So for us to handle that, we are going to target the H1 in the container H1. Then remember the default font size is 10 RAM. So we come here and let's say we reduce it at 7. Save that, and this is how it will be. So when it meets this size of 765 pixels, they reduce the font size to 7 RAM. You can see we go back to 10. Then when we reach our breakpoint 765, breaks. So you can go on and test for other screens. As you can see, if we continue taking this down, can see if you reach some point of 530, so you create another media query. So media, screen, and max width, it was 500. Let me see. Still you follow the values, the upper top right hand corner. So 35 pixels, 535 pixels. Then you get the same value here, or same property that we are targeting. And here I'm going to set it for 5 rem. You can see also now for this screen, get our simple peg. So here it's 535 and below. Then here we go to 765. Here they will use our 10 rem, the font size. Here they use this 7 rem. Here they use 5 rem. So I hope this tutorial was useful to you guys. If so, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll always see you in the next tutorial. So for my Muslim brothers, happy Eid al-Adha. Please subscribe.